Having lost his father to a drunk driver when he was young, Lieutenant Governor Dewhurst has a strong interest in getting justice for the victims of drunk drivers and their families. He says, quote, "The decision to drive under the influence is the cause of entirely too much pain, injury, and death in Texas. As with any crime in Texas, we must ensure justice is served."
And how many people need EMS?
Ma'am, I'm telling you, it's dark. There's 4 or 5 kids. There's kids laying in ditches and streets.
The lieutenant governor's concern no doubt fueled by the sentencing of 16-year-old Ethan Couch, the affluenza defendant who got 10 years probation from a Tarrant County judge after killing 4 people in a drunk driving mishap near Fort Worth.
Taking him away from his family and teaching him to be a responsible citizen, that's a consequence.
Just the impact of the consequences of his actions, he's got to live with every day the rest of his life.
Couch's punishment isn't an anomaly. Benito Capellan got the same probated sentence from a Lubbock jury for killing Britta Schneider. He got drunk while celebrating his birthday, then ran over the German study abroad student who was riding a bicycle. Capellan has tried to make amends, volunteering with MAD and organizing a safe ride program. Defense attorney Ben Webb says the guilt sticks with felons who drive drunk and kill.
You see things like you did yesterday with all of the opportunities that young man had taken to not only change his behavior but influence others potentially. You've got to have the option to make those decisions.
I'm so sorry for what I've done and all the hurt that I've caused them. But to let them know that I will use this chance, this opportunity that has been granted to me to make a difference.
Webb also empathizes with those who demand hard time for a hard crime. His mother-in-law and brother-in-law were killed by a drunk driver.
My kids don't have a grandmother because that drunk driver chose to get behind the wheel and killed my wife's mom and brother, so they don't have an uncle.
So does having remorse and pangs of guilt justify a probated sentence for drunk drivers who recklessly take a life? Gerald and Donna Snodgrass lost their daughter to a drunk driver in 1983. He went to prison. Would you have accepted probation over a prison sentence?
Would have been really hard for us to see suspension of any kind of penalty when we really have lived a lifetime of penalty, and certainly Mary Jane didn't have much of a choice, you know, of her penalty. I mean, so in all fairness, I think, you know, if the penalty's reasonable, then I think that fits within our legal system.
Donna Snodgrass used her daughter's story to help start a Mothers Against Drunk Driving chapter here in Lubbock. The Snodgrass say they've learned to cope, but losing a child is not something that gets easier with time. Bailey Jo Miller, Fox 34, News at 9.
What the consequences were, they knew where the line was.
I didn't know they had 3 kids.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to the games.
I don't think so.